Okay, so before I get started with this new deck being Odd Paladin, as you guys can clearly see, I would just like to say a couple of things. One, if you guys do not want to see Odd Paladin, because this is a kind of hit or miss deck, in my opinion, because people either can sometimes like it, but last time I did this, a lot of people didn't like it, and it was very unpopular. And so if you don't want me to do that, I could switch to Spell Hunter. I just didn't want to do another Hunter deck because I had already done 2 recently. And also, I started a blog not too long ago. That's a bit of a bummer, but I could coin out something to actually recover from this, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to go with that and coin out this. But yeah, it's called Better Hearthstone. It's a WordPress thing if you guys want to check it out. It's basically just repeating stuff that I've done already for the channel, but written out a little bit and with a little extra explanation along with an accompanied video on the post. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. So he's killing off my things. I'm actually going to be able to have a pretty decent lead, I think, because I'm going to be able to have multiple more 1/1s than he's going to be able to have. Turn 3 is going to be a little bit rough, and honestly, the fact that I'm playing a mirror match first is a little bit of a bummer, especially considering he got the better weapon. That's actually really bad for me. The fact that that happened, he's going to be able to just kill off all my stuff. So, it's okay. We'll play the Firefly and then this, and we'll trade into his things. And really the goal at this point is to just try to maintain control, play this with this, and potentially another 1-drop, and just try to maintain control of the board until one of us gets a pretty good play. His good play probably being level up along with mine as well. So the issue with this deck, or the deck that I'm building right now, or using right now as my build, is the fact that it actually doesn't run any, what's it called? I want to see what this is first. It's another not great one. It doesn't actually run any of the Stonehill Defenders, which is a little bit weird because getting Tarm is actually a pretty big way that you can start winning the game. And instead, I'm copying a build of somebody who got to rank 4 with this deck. But if the second Divine Favor doesn't seem too good, I'm probably going to take it out for at least one Stonehill Defender. So anyway, just continuing to control the board here. Next turn, we're going to be able to hero power and then increase all of their attacks by 2, which is actually going to be very helpful for me. And I need to play this soon because I have 3 weapons in my hand. So, to be quite honest, playing minions is definitely the way to go here. This is all well and good. Okay, so he's going to kill that off. And then this turn, we're going to do that. And then we're going to pump up all their attacks. Trade this into one of these, this into one of these. He could have level up, so I think I should probably trade this into one of these, but I probably won't. Like, I'm trying to think if that's necessarily needed. I think it's better to go face, but I also don't want him to get a better level up play because I don't have it in my hand. And I already have a pretty decent way to rebuild the board, and then I'll have Vine Cleaver for next turn, so I'm honestly pretty okay with the state of the board as of right now. That's fine with me, actually. I'm actually 100% fine with that play. That play from him. I could actually care less. So the next turn, I think after this turn, I will have like full control of the board. So we play this. We kill this first. Yeah, okay, and then we play this. We Fungalmancer in the middle of these 2. We trade in. It's not like he can have a Consecrate or anything, and now at this point I have pretty much total board control. And I'm gonna... Yeah, see? I won. Actually not that big of a deal. The Divine Favor, I didn't end up drawing one, but it wouldn't actually have been super important to me, I don't think. But yeah, this deck is actually pretty solid, and I really think that it's going to be one of the best decks in the meta, at least until the next expansion comes out, because of the fact that Giggling Inventor isn't a thing anymore, and Druid isn't being played as much. Okay, so this matchup might not be that good for the reason that Psychic Scream would really wreck this deck, because it could potentially put a ton of 1/1s back in my deck. Now, into this matchup, I think we keep level up because it's gonna be a pretty slow game, and I'm gonna have to surprise him and hit him with a ton of damage at some point. So keeping the level up into this matchup actually might not be that bad. Into a more aggressive matchup, keeping this might be bad because I might get blown out early. Ooh, that's actually really good for me. I'm going to keep the magnetic because I could draw a Mecharoo. I'm going to play this. I'm going to put a card back in my hand. And we're going to Hero Power because the power of getting 2/1/1s for 2 on turns that I can do that it's super powerful, basically. What? I don't think he's going Death Rattle. I think that was just a coincidence. But yeah, the power of this deck to be able to create the 1/1s as consistently as you are able to is too much, in my opinion, to not play it. Because I could dump cards, obviously. I could do that. But I don't think I want to. Also, in some cases, I think that I do. In cases like this, so I can get a 2/4 out, then I play this, then I'm going to be able to Divine Favor next turn and probably have a pretty good board state. Obviously, he could Spirit Lash here, which would be a bummer. No, he's just going to control the board. I'll trade these 1/2s in. He's probably going to heal himself up, and then I'm going to get an amazing Divine Favor play. And if I get a 1-drop, I'll play that first and then draw a ton of cards. And I guess Divine Favor, because it's so good into control, makes this a very good play. Don't play anything. Wow. Wait, no. You can do that, my good sir. My goodness gracious. That's not ideal. That's actually very not ideal. But okay, sure. Why not? I play it. I'll draw 3 cards, I think, out of this. So it's still a good enough play. Okay, not bad, not bad. We'll trade this in, hit this in. We'll play a Mecharoo as well. And then I have no idea what kind of deck this guy's running. This guy's running Thief Priest, which is weird. We're going to kill that. I'm going to maintain control of the board. So the level up play is going to be weak. Not going to have anything to actually level up. Going to trade in. That's fine. I'm going to have a Fungal Mancer play. So, you know, to be quite honest, my goodness, he's just creating too many things for me to actually deal with. My God. I actually don't know how to deal with what he's doing. Now, the question is, do I want to play this or go wide? The answer, I think, is go wide. Because, well, what else is there to do? Like, I could go slightly bigger, but things will be easier to deal with at that point. So we'll kill that. We'll kill this. We'll kill that. Keep as many of these 1/1s alive as possible, and then hopefully get a pretty good level up play and burst him down. Because he's still 2 turns away from a Psychic Scream play. If he has Spirit Lash, it sucks. Really sucks, but I'm assuming he does not. The fact that he coined out that card was a little bit of a bummer. I ended up drawing 2 cards less than I was hoping to, but drawing 3 cards for 3 is still very solid. Okay, so he's going Dragon. Good to know. Good to know. Now the question is, where do I go from here? Because, like, the reason why this is an issue is because I don't want to level up for just 2 of them. I'd rather put more pressure on the board this way. So we're going to play this. We're going to buff up the non-recruit so we can do that. And then we'll hit him in the face with these. And if he has Spirit Lash, I lose, and this is a bad play. But if he doesn't, then he can't play Psychic Scream either. I guess he could also play Duskbreaker, but if he had Duskbreaker, that would have wiped my board regardless. So he doesn't have it. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good for me. Okay, I'm actually 100% okay with that. Now the question is, how much damage can I do this turn? It'll be 3, 6, 9, 12. And then that with that is 15, 17, 18, 19. I can do 19 damage. And then if he Psychic Screams, I still have Leroy to close the game out. So we're going to Magnetic it. No. We're going to level up. We're going to level up. I'm going to hit him in the face with these. Hit him with the weapon. Before. I don't know if I want to Glowatron. I don't know if there's a reason not to. I feel like this is actually not that big of a deal Because if he Psychic Screams, one thing's only being sent back to reflood my deck anyway. And if he does Psychic Scream, I have Leroy Jenkins to win the game anyway. So, for the most part, I think I'm okay. The only thing that would hurt me here is like a giant taunt, which I did not plan for. But even then, I have Fungal Mancer, Sacred Maul, Leroy Jenkins to blast it and just try to push through. Pretty sure that is a pretty good setup. I really like Odd Paladin, I'm not going to lie. I've always liked Paladin in general. Oh. That's... Does that save him, though? I don't think it does. He goes up to 9, I still kill him. Yeah, we'll play. I thought I accidentally hit Greetings there. I didn't want to BM him, but yeah. This deck is pretty solid. I'm already 2-0 with it. And neither game... One game was a mirror match, but in this game was a weird deck, so... I don't know. Obviously a small sample size. We'll keep going, though. Don't worry. Okay, so against the Hunter. I'm assuming it's not going to be an odd, but even if it is, this hand's not that bad. Yo, what up? Hey. Hey, man. Not going to keep Aku. I was checking something earlier, so that's why I'm running out of time here. I think the rest of this I keep, though. This, if I end up drawing a Mekaru. This, because it can pump up a Divine Shield minion. I can coin this out if I need to, or I just might not need to. Oh, boy. Rise of Civilizations. My research has completed. This video is not sponsored. I was just happening to play that game. I just happened to be playing that game. So just by him playing that, I can now predict that the deck he's playing is Death Rattle. Because, excuse me, Secret, my goodness, I apologize. Ding, bro, thanks. Keep up the support. Here, I'm debating whether or not to do this. You know what? Conserving cards in hand, saving resources is probably the best way to go. But anyway, the reason why I think it's a Death Rattle Hunter is because, well, now I just played that, so now I know. But also, before that was played, it was a pretty safe assumption because Secret Hunter doesn't usually play it. Spell Hunter does, though. But Spell Hunter is just a lot less popular. And generally, you can tell from their turn 1 play what deck it's going to be. So, I think what we do here is we pump up this, make more, go face with him, and trade these two in. Because I can always make more minions. And he's probably going to use the Candle Shot to kill a 2-1. Ooh, Flanking Strike, though. That exists. So the reason I didn't want to hit the 2-2 with that was because if I did, then he could have just killed it, probably. And now, I mean, I'm going to be able to get a fairly wide enough board as it is, but that's a little bit of a bummer. This matchup isn't necessarily that bad for me. If I can draw a Level Up or a Fungal Mancer, this matchup's actually really good. But if I don't, then he's just able to outvalue me. There's the Grizzly that I was scared of, but it's okay. I literally can't kill that, though. So we're going to create some minions. We'll play Taunt. We'll hit that. Just try to get some damage on it real quick. I'm fine taking damage. He's going to have to trade into my minions. If he plays Rexar, this game's over. I already lost. And he probably is. Oh! So the reason why I thought Odd Paladin would be better now is because people stopped playing Mossy Horror, which beats this deck, because of the Giggling Inventor nerf, and Giggling Inventor was nerfed, and people aren't playing Druid as much, so Spreading Plague can't punish it. So this deck, in theory, actually is still in a pretty good spot. That was a little bit unlucky. Against Death Rattle Hunter, I guess, that exists. But, you know what? We can reproduce a board, dude. We can just hit me with your best shot. If he doesn't go into my minions, I have the Vine Cleaver, so it's fine. I still might actually be able to do okay with this game if I can draw a level up. So he's trading into my minions. He's going to Death Cube it, and then he's going to create the Death Rattle and make tons of 12-12s. 3-12s. So, yeah. That combo lost me the game. That's a little bit of a bummer, but I won the other 2 games, and this was just a bad game, to be quite honest here. just a bad game. But you know what? Sometimes you have a bad game. Sometimes you just get beat by a ridiculous combo like this on turn 6. Hit me with your best shot, dude. That's a well played. Saving time, I'm just going to concede here. But yeah, I think this deck actually has a decent amount of potential. I feel like that early play for me was actually not that bad. He just had ways of dealing with my plays. Candle Shot's a pretty solid card. I don't play it in my Odd Hunter deck because I don't want to control the board very much with it. Actually, I do run 1. I changed it. But in like more mid-range Hunter decks like this one and Secret and Spell, Candle Shot's actually an amazing card. So if you guys aren't running it in those decks for whatever reason, definitely run it. As you can see, it's an extremely powerful card and basically just shut me down single-handedly from turn 1 by being able to limit how much pressure I was able to get. But yeah, I think this is actually going to be pretty good because this deck does really well into aggro decks. So it's going to do pretty well into Odd Rogue in my opinion because I'll be able to trade into his minions. It does really well into Zoolock from my experience, although I'm not running Stonehill Defenders, so I lack a little bit of defensive options, but that's fine. I don't know. I think this deck's actually really good, and I'm going to have a very fun time playing it in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoy watching it.